Hi, folks. My name is Ben Axelrad. Anybody who knows me knows that I get pretty hyped to give a speech or to write an essay. I simply love to hear myself speak. But in this case, I have to admit, I was a bit intimidated by this one. Nostalgia has always been a foreign concept to me. I mean, it is a foreign concept. It's an ancient Greek term that was coined by a 17th century Swiss guy. Don't get much more foreign than that. But the feeling that it describes, the feeling it elicits, I never quite got it because, well, I never really get it. I'm what you might call non-stalgic. Any other non-stalgics in the house? Anybody? Okay, good. At least one, so I'm not completely alone. That would be hard. See, I can't really pivot because I've written all this and I relied on at least one of you being like me. Yes, it certainly makes sense that I wouldn't be nostalgic. Nostalgia essentially translates to homesickness, and I'm a guy who gets sick of homes. I'm a digital nomad. For the last 5 years, I haven't lived anywhere for more than 3 months. I lived in 6 different cities in 2024, and I had to check my calendar to remember all 6. Or was it 7? I do not hold on to the past. Maybe nostalgia is in my nature. My dad is more or less the same way. In his mid-70s, he and my stepmom picked up and moved from suburban Detroit to a hipster section of Brooklyn and never looked back. My brother is a touring DJ living in Europe. My grandfather's work took him and his family all over the world. Maybe it's in our blood. Or maybe the answer is found in my nurture. At one point, while pondering this essay, I Googled, what's it called when reflecting on the past makes you sad? And Google deadpanned back, trauma. And that was when I decided that this essay was not going to have a nature versus nurture segment. Like everything else in life, I'm sure it's a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. A little bit is genetics, a little bit is PTSD. I had never put much thought into my nostalgia deficiency because, well, it's not a real deficiency. It's just a fact of life. I viewed nostalgia as a binary, similar to how I did ASMR. For most people, it sparks a warm, fuzzy feeling. Others, it gives them the ick. Me, I get the ick. With nostalgia, that is. ASMR, that gives me the fuzzies. And really, it's not nostalgia that gives me the ick. It's just the overly nostalgic. My high school best friend, Josh, who earnestly believes that technology stopped improving in 1995. Ick. I earnestly believe Josh stopped improving in 1995. The expression back in my day. Ick. I had the best childhood. Ick. Make America great again. Ick. That guy might be an idiot. So all these examples cloak abstract meaning in material form. Nostalgia is chasing a sensation, conjuring up feelings like safety, security, serenity, strength. To indelibly link that feeling to the context or experience itself will eventually leave you wanting. It's like the superstitious baseball player Wade Boggs, who would eat a chicken sandwich before every baseball game, certain it improved his performance. Yeah, it's called protein and carbs, my guy. They've fueled many great athletic performances. Try spaghetti and meatballs sometimes. You just might make a new friend. The point is, there's value in deriving the nutrients from an experience because those are replicable even when the experience is not. So yes, I'd be lying if I said I don't find it a little annoying when criminally nostalgic people fail to see the forest for the trees. But honestly, it's just a little bit. I think the real reason I occasionally go hard at nostalgia is because I'm jealous. First off, what does it say about me that most humans feel it and I simply don't? Your mind will go to some extreme places. Am I a sociopath? A danger to myself and others? Should they lock me up and throw away the key? I think the answers are no, no, and no, but I did call Donald Trump an idiot, so number 3 is probably still on the table. I eventually get past the bout of insecurity, but what lasts is a jealousy for that warm, fuzzy feeling. And it's like, what? You got to have a touchstone of happy to return to in order to get a little fuzz around here? That seems very unfair. And it's not that I haven't been happy. I just enjoy the experience of moving on to the next potential happiness. Successfully finishing one story frees me to confidently start the next, and I kind of love that. As I think about it, that's where I get my warm, fuzzy feeling. Planning, doing, ending. A sense of safety, security, serenity, and strength, born of knowing that nothing has to be permanent, that I can reinvent and start anew. Wait, is there a word for that feeling? Well, the answer is yes, and also no, and sort of, kind of. Wanderlust is the closest thing that we have in English, and honestly, I'd rather have nothing. It's like, great. Wander, the aimless method of transportation associated with dementia. And lust, an intense desire shared by hornballs and perverts alike. Rude, America. You got to go to Germany if you really want to find the opposite of nostalgia. Like I mentioned earlier, nostalgia translates to homesickness. Literally means suffering evoked by the desire to return home. The direct opposite of that would be the German word this is the terrible one to not be able to see with my Fernweh. Fernweh, that's a Fernweh, which translates to far sickness. Whereas wanderlust is essentially just a love of travel, Fernweh is a deep longing for the unknown, sometimes for a specific place or experience. Now, real quickly, to be clear, nostalgia and Fernweh are not an either-or situation. There's a good chance you experience both, at least to some extent. It's like the Kinsey scale. Most people fall somewhere in the middle. My friend Ben, who's here tonight, in fact, felt what I would describe as a deep sense of Fernweh for Japan, a place he had never been to. Then he went, came back, and now he feels nostalgic for it. It's the spectrum. Me, though, I'm like all Fernweh, baby. I love the unknown, new experiences, new places, new people. The known is just so known. Anybody else feel that way? Any others? Okay, nice, thank you. Better response that time. Well, there's a name for us, folks. It's Fernweh. Fernweh, my friends. Fernweh. Now, listen, I don't love giving props to Germany, but credit where credit's due. Because they got a second word in their language to contrast nostalgia, which is 2 more than we've got, 3 if you count wanderlust against us, and I do. This next one is called, and it rolls right off the tongue, Sehnsucht. Sehnsucht. It's more general than nostalgia or Fernweh, speaking more to a vague sense of longing for wholeness that contrasts nostalgia's sense that things were once whole and have since unraveled. Check out the core characteristics of Sehnsucht. Maybe they apply to you as well. Idealization of future events, check. A sense of incompleteness, check. Difficulty recalling details, that might be the weed, but check. Bittersweet emotions, check. And excessive self-reflection, check. Whoa! I may even be more Sehnsucht than Fernweh. Any other Sehnsuchters in the house? Nice. Generally, probably no. The reason that I'm doing this is because I felt very alone in this, and this is actually corroborating that. Yes. All right, congrats. Yeah, I find it kind of enlightening. You go your whole life thinking you're an ugly American duckling, and then one day you realize, no, I'm a beautiful German swan. Thanks, Sehnsucht. Question. Have any of you heard of Sehnsucht before this? No. What about Fernweh? Yeah, exactly. Because I hadn't until like 2 days ago. Why haven't we? Well, I'll tell you why. Because in a cross-cultural study conducted by Germany to determine whether Sehnsucht could be generalized in the United States, Americans determined the concept unimportant. That sigh was I didn't even ask for it. And the truth is, I get it. I'm mad as hell about it, but I get it. Why? The problem isn't that the concept of Sehnsucht is irrelevant to Americans. It's that the name is too damn German. Fernweh, too. Both words are difficult to pronounce, unfun to say, feel vaguely anti-Semitic. They needed rebranding before getting pitched here. Nostalgia is so much better of a word, and it's not even that good a word. It sounds like a scalp condition. Like, what do you take for your nostalgia? I'm on Regenitol, but it gives me night sweats. That's what it sounds like. Tell me I'm wrong. And yet, Seinsucht and Fernweh are significantly worse. So bad, they haven't even made it to the world market known as America. So now I gotta go to Germany to get my diagnosis. Meanwhile, US insurance companies will cover your Regenitol treatments even though they cause night sweats. Is it any wonder I never feel at home? Folks, here we are at the end of our time together. And I need to land the plane. But now I have to reckon with the very real possibility that there isn't a point to anything I just said to you. An essay should have a thesis, and I'm afraid I may not have one. But you know what? That's just gotta be okay. I learned a bunch of stuff on the journey to get to this essay. Some of it even had a point. But I chose to tell you what I learned about myself instead. On the off chance that some, or even just one of you, most likely just one of you, just one of you, I lost my place. Even if it's just one of you, found nostalgia to be missing from your life and you wondered if maybe you were weird. You're not. We're not. We're not sociopaths or broken or incomplete. We're just German. We're just German. Damn, we gotta change these words.